Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. This webinar is a little bit different than our typical monthly webinars and is a part of our new series called Table Talk, which consists of concise, informative presentations to help your organization tell its story and do more good. Today with me, I have Rachel Briner, our brand strategist, and I'm Oliver, Click and Pledge's marketing specialist. I also have members from our training team, Susan Higgs and Debbie Van Epp, in the background to help answer any of the questions you may have today. So throughout the webinar, if you have any questions at all, we encourage you to use the Q&A section. And at the end of the presentation, we may discuss some of the questions if they're relevant to the whole audience. For anyone that is not familiar with Click and Pledge, we are essentially part of your team because if you succeed, we succeed. Our mission is to help you fundraise more so together we can make the world a better place. With that said, let's dive into today's topic, talking about donation forms. To start, I want to talk about why donation forms are so important. First off, from a marketing perspective, your forms are a valuable touch point, a touch point that can make or break a donation opportunity. So it's really important to consider your branding and put thought into any of the content that is on your donation page. Second, from a financial perspective, donation forms are the lifeline of your nonprofit. So it's essential to make sure your page is always ready to accept donations and is optimized to bring in the most donations for your organization in the long run. And third, from a security standpoint, since we're handling money, hackers and scams can always be present, and it's very important to make sure that security is a priority to protect your organization and make your donors feel safe. So at Click and Pledge, we know that each mission is going to be a little bit different, and so are your donation forms. But after thinking, we came up with 5 aspects of your forms that we think every nonprofit should consider. These being, first off, your brand appearance. Second, your brand voice. Third, your form's security. 4, recurring options. And lastly, real-time receipts. Our team thinks with an attention to detail on each of these aspects, your nonprofit can position itself for more success in the long run. The first aspect that I'll be talking about today is your form's brand appearance. This is essentially the look and feel of your form. For this, it's really important to be mindful of the colors, the logos, and also the images that are on your page. You really want your form to be cohesive and your brand to be recognizable as soon as someone sees your page. Another good thing to keep in mind is that depending on the campaign, the content on your form can also change. For example, if you're an organization that has a new campaign coming up for a special initiative, maybe you're raising money for an upcoming summer camp, it would be a great opportunity and a good time to create a new form, change the images, something related to that campaign, and also make sure all the copy on your page provides more context into that new initiative. Within our form builder, you can easily customize a lot of things without much effort at all and no degree in design. You just need to have a little bit of fun and get creative. I want to share an example and highlight a few of the features that you can customize within our form builder so that you can start to see the potential of your form. This is a form that my teammate Rachel has created, and as you can see, she's done a really good job of color matching a lot of the colors on this form. So whether it's the text and the logo matching the background on the form, the donation buttons, the text of the color of the text right here, on the recurring options. She really did a good job of making sure everything is matching. She also went in and added an image to the sidebar right here, something that we highly recommend you customizing on your form. You know, make sure this image is related to the campaign or your mission. And also this header section right here is fully customizable, whether you want to upload an image or a logo of your organization. Another thing to touch on about the colors is within our form builder, you can actually type in the hex code of your colors. So you can get the exact color that you have for your organization on your form as well. The next section or aspect of your form is your brand voice. To me, this is one of the most important aspects and one that is often overlooked or sometimes confused with the brand appearance of your form. With this aspect, you can really add a lot of value, but you can also confuse or lose an opportunity to connect or inspire your donors. The goal with your brand voice is to know exactly who you're talking to, your audience, and then think of ways to bring that person into the story and journey of your nonprofit. You can do this through storytelling in the copy that you use, maybe using strong call to actions that are relatable to your mission, and also just making sure that any copy on your form is very clear and concise. One example that I would like to share, and I always like to talk about this when talking about brand voice with forms, is the use of donation button labels, these right here. So as you can see on this form, the donation amounts are paired with a custom label. So you can actually go in and add these labels to every donation amount on your form. And it's really a great place to start if you want to engage and connect with your donors and tell a little bit more of your mission in the copy on your form. Really, at the end of the day, you want to make your donors feel as if they're really making a difference in someone's lives or making a difference in helping your organization achieve its mission. And if they really feel this, they're going to be much more likely to come back again and again to give to your organization. So on this example, this was probably a Habitat for Humanity form right here. And you can see that the 1,000 amount has been paired with building a habitat home, 100 with repairing a home. So as a donor, if I was to give $100, you know, I would feel like I knew where my money was going, which is going to be very valuable in the long run. So now I'm going to pass it off to Rachel to discuss the third aspect, your security.
Yes, let's go over security. So today, security is more important than ever, especially to your donors. We provide this protection for you, but here are some things to keep in mind. First off, your forms with Click and Pledge are secure, backed by payment card industry certified databases. This includes credit card companies such as Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. Next, we automatically set your page to use reCAPTCHA. This is to tell if your access to your website is human. You probably know it as the test that you match images to grant access. Lastly, we understand that fraud protection is key. In case you're attacked, all of our security settings are set by default to keep you and your organization safe from online attackers. Next, let's talk about recurring. Online recurring options have streamlined the way that nonprofits ask for donations. Much of the expense and hassle on the nonprofit side has been eliminated with the introduction of the internet. Recurring options allow for increased revenue and a more consistent cash flow. When payments are repeated and spread out, you can create a predictable revenue stream that provides support during your organization's slow periods. It allows your organization to improve its long-term planning, budgeting, and decision-making. Additionally, according to fundraising123.org, recurring donors give 42% more over the course of 1 year than one-time donors. For many nonprofits, recurring donors make additional one-time gifts throughout the year too. In short, these recurring donors are the most loyal and generous supporters over time. Every month, when a donor makes their contribution, you have the chance to start a conversation and remind them of their impact on your nonprofit, fostering a clear sense of community. Now with this next page, I also wanted to show that in our forms, you can change the donation amounts depending on what reoccurring option the donor chooses. So it gives you the ability to customize the amounts depending on the frequency, which I think is a really cool customization feature. Lastly, real-time receipts provide a traceable report of a transaction that occurred with the donor and your organization. It provides a sense of verification while giving you and your team the ability to track donations in real time. Something to note is that they're automatically on and can be used for tax purposes for both parties. On the next slide, you can see that Oliver created a receipt, and the customization features on the receipt are really, really helpful. So you can add a mission statement, a thank you, something from the founder, or any other sort of message that you'd like your donors to receive. It allows for a warm touch point, and additionally, you can have the receipt match the branding and color scheme of your organization to stay consistent across the whole donation process. So as a recap, there are 5 elements to focus on for a donation form. So you got your brand appearance, brand voice, security, recurring options, and real-time receipts. These few customizations can lead to huge returns. And with that, I think we've had a few questions that have come in, and I'm pretty sure that we answered a good amount of them. But if you have any more, feel free to put them in the chat for us to address. Susan, do you see anything on your end that you want to address?
No, I don't think so right now, but let's talk about a couple of things. I did want to I'm putting a survey into the chat area. That is, we would love to have your feedback. With this new series, we'd love to hear, what kind of ideas that you have. This survey is going to be in the email that's provided to you when you receive the auto response from Zoom. We're using Zoom for this webinar. And I do see some more questions coming in, so we'll address those in just a moment. A couple of questions that did come in during the registration. We had a few people that said they would not be able to attend, or maybe if you came in late. We do have a recording of this webinar. It will be provided in the link that you'll receive from Zoom tomorrow. And actually, let me get you that link right now. So obviously, it takes a little bit of time for us to get this on the webinar archive. But this, along with other webinars that we have, are available there. Okay. Let's see, a few questions that are coming in. First off, can we create receipts for every donation form we create? Good question. The way that the receipts, when receipts, everything that we're talking about in this session is about, your connect donation pages. For each campaign that you have in Connect, this is your Click and Pledge customer portal, you can attach a receipt to that particular campaign. So, and within your receipt settings, you can set up a default one, but so you can create unique receipts for each campaign. Each campaign can have each campaign can have multiple donation forms, but your receipts are tied to a campaign. So yes, if a lot of organizations throughout the year, you might have a general donation page, and you want the color scheme to be a certain way, and maybe you want a special quote, but maybe with your different campaigns they have a little different branding. So yes, you can customize them per campaign. All right, some other questions. Okay, we have an attendee that says, I don't understand how to create forms. I would love a tutorial or to schedule a time to go over this with someone. Okay, let's explain the different options that are available to you. In the knowledge base, we do have a get started tutorial. I think it's like 5 minutes on creating a donation page. So that's a great place to start. hold on just a moment, and I'm going to go also to our support, um, or let's see, and let's talk about our different support options, because I know we mentioned support, but it might be good for everyone to be aware of all the different support options as well, because there is a time where you can also come and join live support and ask any questions that you have as well. So let's see. Oliver, if you would like to go to our website to the support options, or if you would like for me to share my screen, I can do that, whichever you
I'll let
prefer.
you share real quick.
You want me to share? Okay. Hold on just a moment. All right. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Here in our knowledge base, we have, so pretty much everything that we're talking about with this session, we're talking about donation pages. So everything that you really need to know is going to be here in Connect Campaigns and Payment Forms. And as I mentioned before, there's this quick start video, less than 5 minutes. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put this into the chat area so that everyone has this. So again, once you log in, you're going to be able to go to a campaign, customize, and create that donation page. So that's a great place to start. We know that questions will come up. I mean, it's whenever you're learning any type of new software, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. So we do have different support options when those questions do come up. Let me go back to, so we have multiple support options. So things like I just sent in the chat area, that's a knowledge-based article. There's going to be articles for everything, and some of our articles do include videos as well. But, if you want to talk to a human being, and I can't blame you because that's the way I would prefer to do things, we have live support. We offer that every day at 3 o'clock Eastern time. You can come and join and ask your question. And, on any given day, there could be, 1 or 2 people on that call. There could be 15 people. So you come and you ask your questions in queue, but that is a way for you to talk to someone here at Click and Pledge and ask those questions that you need. Or if you prefer to create a support ticket, you can do that as well. So our knowledge base, support tickets, live support, these are all free support options. So, we want you to take advantage of them. As Oliver said, we really partner with our customers, and we're not successful here as a company unless you're successful. So we want everybody to be successful. So please ask for help if you need it. We also offer fee-based support. If you feel like you need a little bit more of a handheld experience, that's there for you as well. So, maybe you want training for your staff, or, you want to get over that learning curve as quickly as possible. That may be a option for you as well. Webinar archive, recordings of all of our past webinars, and our forum as well. I will also mention on this topic, under webinars on our website, you may want to join, if you're really not familiar with Click and Pledge at all, we have a Get Started session as well. So you can come and join that. And that's really catered to new users. If you haven't really, spent a lot of time playing around with Click and Pledge, and you need the basics, how to log in, how to run a report, creating that donation page, things like that, you may want to join us for that Get Started webinar. So again, I'll copy this link and I'm going to put that in the chat area. So, we want you to have a good experience with us. So we have lots of resources available to you. So I think that probably covers that question. Let's see. We have a question about monthly donation upgrades. Are there any options to do that? And I'm not exactly 100% sure of that question, so you're welcome to put any more information in there. But yes, within the system, you know, recurring donations are a part of the platform, so you don't have to offer just single donations. You can offer you know, the monthly options as well, as it was shown to you in the session. You know, you can change the amount. So if you prefer, you know, for those amounts, you know, one-time gifts to be higher amounts, monthly donation options to be different amounts, you can certainly do that with the system. So if you have any more questions on that, you're welcome to put them in here. But again, I will refer you back to the Connect article on campaigns and payment forms. I know this is a very long article, but you know, we have a lot of customization within here. So this is all about your different payment options in here. So you do have that option to choose those different payment frequencies within the system, and it's a matter of clicking a button. It really is that easy. So, and again, if you have any more questions about that, you know, put them in here, and of course we always have live support as well. Okay, next question is, we need to upgrade our receipt. It's fine, but it lacks the same general design as our donation page. Does it have the same design features as the donation page? So the receipt, and again, we have a knowledge base articles on receipts. It is a template format similar to the donation page. It's not exactly like the donation page, but it is similar in the fact that you can, you know, drag and drop areas within the form. You can customize the colors. You can add text, things like that. So you do have that option of having a template and being able to customize it. Or if you wanted to have a receipt and start from scratch, you can do that as well. So you do have a lot of flexibility. What I would say is, if you're going to start playing around with receipts, the best thing to do, I would probably choose one of the templates and start customizing it as a new receipt. There is a default receipt that's already in there. You can, I would say, you know, if you wanted to play around with that receipt, I would save it as a different name, so you can play around with that and you're not changing the format of that receipt that's going out. So I would create a new receipt, play around with it to make sure it's you know, has all the things that you want in it before you make any changes to your receipts. And I know I have my team member, Debbie, as well on here. If you want to add anything to the conversation, you're more than welcome to. Let's see. Lots of questions coming in. Let's see. Would you be able to review how Click and Pledge reoccurring donations interface with Salesforce and capturing the campaigns using Salesforce campaigns? That is, and Debbie, you might be a little bit better at covering that, but to take a step back, for those of you that may be using Click and Pledge with Salesforce together, again, you can link your two accounts together, and when transactions occur, they will automatically post to Salesforce. So the recurring gifts, that's also going to be posted within Salesforce. And there's a lot of flexibility with basically controlling how the information goes from Click and Pledge into Salesforce. Within Click and Pledge settings, you have a lot of flexibility in there. One of the things that a lot of customers will use is they use SKUs or SKUs, store keeping units, to manage how that information flows into Salesforce. So that might be helpful to you. And there's an article on that as well. Debbie, do you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
Yes. Excuse me. When a recurring transaction is initiated and it posts to Salesforce, in addition to the transaction, the CNP transaction record that is created, there is a CNP recurring transaction that is created. And this recurring, when the series starts, it is assigned a unique ID number. And when you look at that record, you can see all the transaction information, all the related transactions, all the opportunities, other CNP recurrings. It's all there for your information. So you can see it start to finish, and if a recurring is canceled and a new one is started for the same donor, then it's a new recurring ID number. And the other part of the question about capturing the campaign using Salesforce campaigns, as Susan mentioned, you can use SKUs, which we recommend. And if you set up a SKU for your payment in your payment options for your payment amounts, then in Salesforce under CNP settings, you can map that SKU to associate your transaction with your primary Salesforce campaign. And I'll put links to the article for CNP recurrings and the article for campaigns, posting to campaigns in the chat.
Great. And I just put one in there. That's the article that does talk about SKUs and the different ways that you can do that with Salesforce. So that might be a good article to review as well. And I will continue on, and I do see a few more questions coming in. Let's see. Okay, and this is the follow-up question to the monthly gift question that I wasn't quite, I didn't quite clue in to exactly what you were asking. But the example is, if someone is donating $20 each month and they want to upgrade to $25, do we have to cancel and start a new recurring donation, or is there a way to change the amount? Good question. You're correct. Yes, if somebody wants to change the amount of their monthly gift to a different amount, yes, you would cancel it within the system and start a new recurring donation for them. What's nice about that, you know, is that within the virtual terminal, within your Click and Pledge account, you know, if somebody, you know, they want to use that same credit card that they've been using in the past, and that's the one that you have within the system, you can use the virtual terminal just to go in there and set up that new recurring gift at that $25. You do not have to get their credit card information from them again if they want to use that same credit card that they were using in the past. So I'm just typing that in there. So if you have any questions about using the virtual terminal, again, I'll put that into the chat area so that you can reference it. Okay. And it looks like we did have a follow-up question with somebody that had a very similar question to that, you know, whether there was a way for the donor to manage that themselves. No, that is something that they would need to contact you, you know, let you know that that donation needs to be canceled or changed in some way. So that is something that you would manage on your end. Okay, let's see. And I see there was a question about providing that SKU article in the chat. It is in there. And do remember, on our website, if you go to support and resources, the knowledge base articles, they're all in here. So you can find all of these articles in there, and there is a search tool to help you find those articles. Okay, another question. How many users can make changes to the donation forms, templates, etc.? Good question. You can have as many users on your Click and Pledge account as you need. So we do not limit you. We do not charge extra for, if you get over 10 users. Have as many users on your account as you need. With your users, you do have the ability to set up different permission levels. So if you do not want every person that has access to your account to be able to access the entire account, you can set up different permission levels. So, let's say that you have volunteers with your organizations, you want them to help you with creating donation forms and receipts and things like that, but maybe you don't want them to be able to pull donor reports. You can set up different permission levels so that they just have access to the areas that you need. I will say by default, there's one user policy available, and that's basically you have access to the entire account. But again, it's very easy to go in there and to create those different permission levels. So really the answer to that question, Gwen, is however many users you need. We would always recommend, even if you're a teeny tiny organization, at least have one other user on your account, because we do run into situations where, there's one person is a user, they're out sick, or, something has changed, their job has changed, or what have you. And then the organization is locked out of the account and they have to work with our team to try to get another user on the account, which is very labor intensive for security purposes, as I'm sure you can certainly understand. So do always have some backup people that can log into an account, whether that's a board member or someone else, so that in case of emergency, there's someone else there that can log into your account. But again, let's go back to our knowledge base. I appreciate all the questions and all the different types of questions. And we're just going to put in users and look up that article as well. So here it is. So connect and manage users. And again, really very easy for you to just log in. You go into the account section and you can start adding users. And as soon as you do, they're going to be able to log into your account. So again, that's going into the chat area for you to reference. Okay, and I think we are caught up. Debbie, is there anything else that you can think of, or Oliver or Rachel? Is there anything else that you wanted to cover with this session?
I just wanted to mention the support options again. Let's see. So like Susan said earlier, if you have any additional questions or you need help, we do have some options for you. So we have live support Monday through Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern time. We also have knowledge base articles like we mentioned before that can be found on our site. And with that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for attending today. Just a few things before we wrap it up. Our goal is to keep doing this, and we really want to talk about topics that you guys want to hear. So please send us your ideas, and also fill out our survey so we can get some feedback from you guys. And there will be an email that goes out tomorrow with a recording, and the video will be uploaded to our webinar archive at some point. So the email to send us ideas, if you do have them, is marketing@clickandpledge.com. With that, thank you guys so much again, and we'll end it here.
Very good. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of the day.